Hello Facebook ads people, my name is Konstantinos and today we're going to talk about the whole timeline of the Facebook ads, what happened after the iOS changes, which months were good, which months were bad, and for all of you that you are just managing one account, I think that you can find this useful from someone who is managing more than 20 or 30 accounts each month. I would like to thank you for the support on the channel. It really means a lot. I read all of your comments, I try to explain everything, I try to answer, and thank you very much for being polite and sharing your experiences with me. I have developed my small free course just to help you even more with Facebook ads. Be sure to check the link on the description. So, let's see the timeline. Let's see how everything started and what happened during the next months. This is going to be a very short video, but I want you to be updated a little bit on how the Facebook ads performed through the previous months. So, we had the iOS changes of 14.5, which is for me the break point, and we can see that a lot of businesses after that point they just couldn't do Facebook ads anymore. So, since June, July and August were considered very bad months. This is the period that we were all trying to find what we were going to do. Most businesses didn't do the API integration. There were more settings. Facebook was testing stuff and everything. So after that point, we have September, October, November and December. September was meh, but October, November, December was very good months for Facebook ads. By the way, whatever I'm telling you is the average results across accounts, okay? Established accounts, new accounts, whatever. Of course, you can say that in this period we had Black Friday and Christmas stuff. Thank God it worked on Black Friday and Christmas, because if it wasn't going to work even then we would be on a serious big trouble. The summer was very bad with ads, we know that. I can tell you that this is true. Then we had this period. If you were not doing very well on this period, either you were doing something this period, by this period I mean from September, or maybe let's say from October to December. If you were doing bad this period, it means that you're doing something wrong either with your Facebook ads or your numbers are not good enough for Facebook to advertise anymore, because Facebook is becoming more and more expensive. Now, if we move to the next months and we go on January, February, I can tell you that these months were mediocre, not like the summer, but let me put it in another way. The established brands on January and February, they did very well. They did very good. We had very good results. The startups did awfully. So whichever didn't have a trained pixel, it was very difficult. And whichever had a trained pixel, we did very well and we had very good results. I can tell you that the results were similar like the previous period. So I'm hearing a lot of people that they say that February and January were very bad months and stuff. 99% of the cases, these are people with new pixels that they try to enter now, the Facebook market and whatever. I can tell you that for most businesses, if they had some good results from October to December, February and January was also considered good months if we see the results. If we want to compare them, I can tell you that the best period so far after the iOS changes was October to December, and the second best period was February and January, and the worst period was the summer, where we could see that a lot of companies actually left the platform and they didn't want to continue advertising with Facebook anymore. Now, on March, things are even worse, okay, from summer. This is why I have created this video. We can see that after we had the removal of the Facebook interests on the 17th of March, we can see that the results are becoming more and more worse for several businesses, even for the businesses that they have trained pixels. The situation is this, okay? We cannot change anything. So instead of crying alone in our bed before we sleep, we should find a solution. Thing number one, try to see if you can work with broad targeting. If your pixel is not strong enough and you cannot work with broad targeting, try to think other ways of using interests in order to target your audience. One example, the Christian interest. The Christian interest is a huge interest, and we used to have 250 interests and now we have only 3. That being said, there are several things that you need to try. First of all, try to see other interests and try to see how you can reach this audience. I have done another video that I'm explaining about how to be creative with your targeting. The interests are still working well, okay? It's not like the lookalikes. The lookalikes, for example, they're not working well on this period also, and the only period that they have actually worked well was from October to December. After that point, they didn't work well and they still don't work well. The interests though, even after the removal, okay, we can see that the interests that are left, they're still working like they should be. Okay, so try to see if you can find other interests that you can continue doing whatever you were doing and it was working, and try to see if with those interests you can replicate it. At the end of the day, if you target a Christian person with a Christian interest, or if you target someone who likes rock with the same pixel, rock music I mean, with the same pixel, this pixel is going to try to find people based on the previous sales that you had. Okay, so it's all about training your pixel with new interests if you don't have a trained pixel, or using the data that your pixel has in other interests and trying to locate the people who are most likely to buy based on the data that it has from your previous buyers. Second thing, try to experiment with broad targeting, because broad targeting is what you should do in the future if you want to scale. There is not going to be any scale on Facebook ads from now on if we don't have the broad targeting, and of course my crazy method is a very good way to use the broad targeting, but even if you don't like it, still use broad targeting because I think that it's going to help you a lot. Number 3, I'm testing a lot lookalikes. They're not working very well when you use them individually. I have seen, and I want you to also test it maybe, that if you stack them and you create a very big audience, they're working better. This is why I'm stacking several, like purchase 180 days, lookalike 10%, top 25 viewers, view content 180 days, all of the website or the social media engagers of Instagram and Facebook of 220 days, 250 days, and 10% lookalike. All of them 10% lookalikes, stacking them up in one ad set and having a full potential reach because you are stacking them of 50-60 million. I can see that this is the only way that I have used lookalikes this year, and it's actually working a little bit. I'm testing a lot of stuff always, but I have seen that this one is a little bit promising from as far as I can see on several accounts. Of course, I'm using it with my crazy method. If you don't know what's my crazy method, go and watch it because it's 30 minutes video and I'm not going to do it. Now, I'm going to close this video fast because I told you that it's going to be a short video, but it is not, again. If you want to learn more about Facebook ads, read my book, check my courses. I will try to keep you updated also with more videos about how the months are looking across several accounts. And until we meet again, don't forget that you have to be creative and you have to be consistent.